Good evening. I'd like to call the regularly scheduled Park and Recreation Commission meeting for Wednesday, October 15th to order. Roll call, Jackie?
Chair Palmer,
Here.
Vice Chair Pierce,
Here.
Commissioners Davis,
Here.
Greenberg,
Here.
Nigel,
Here.
Zamatia,
Here.
and Brittany Chin.
Here.
Thank you. I've asked Commissioner Zamatia to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Lucy. Item 3, announcements. Danielle, anything? No announcements this evening. Item 4, presentations. No presentations this evening. Item 5, review of the agenda. Is there any items we want to move? No? Okay, move on to item 6, approval of minutes from the September 17, 2014 minutes. Has everybody had a chance to read those? Any corrections, additions?
Through the chair, I approve the minutes of meeting of September 17th,
Through
2014.
the chair, I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain. I wasn't there.
Minutes have been approved from September 17th. Item 7, public comment on items not on the agenda. And I don't believe we have any public comments this evening. We can move on to item 8, A, which is a city park pathway project. And we do have a comment on that, presentation.
Yes,
Yes.
we do have a presentation tonight by Mr. Bob Stuhler. He will go ahead and present to you the project that they're proposing.
Okay. Mr. Schuler?
Good evening. I'm Bob Stuhler. I belong to CPC Central Peninsula Church up in the old Crestmore building, and we would like to propose a project that we've gone back and forth with Danielle on, improving the walking path in San Bruno Park. If we can bring that picture up, that'd be great. Laser. So anyway, as you already know, the path goes all the way around the park and ends up dumping into this parking lot. That's somewhat unsafe. I mean, I went by again today and people were walking straight through here.
Hey,
Instead,
through the chair, one second, Bob. Since we're televised, maybe we can get you a mic real quick?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Started.
I think it's on. It's got a green.
All right, got it? All right. So the proposal is to continue the path here, cut through this grassy area. I have some pictures here. Cut through the grassy area here, cut along, right along that fence there. Along the fence line, have ballards, for safety reasons, for parking. We'd have to push the parking spaces back about 4 feet. So I think you'd still have plenty of room for parking. The path would come through here would be, I proposed decomposed granite, but it was brought to my attention that might be a slipping hazard coming from blacktop to decomposed granite. So it's really a small area from here to here to pave. Money-wise, I don't think it'd be that much money. But so my proposal is to cut the path through here, rebuild this little fence right here because it's basically fallen down. Put another fence where the star is, where your maintenance vehicles go through. So people wouldn't automatically keep running out. They'd have to veer to the right, across here with the ballards, and then they'd come all the way around by the snack bar. So basically, it's a nice, clean, obvious path. Instead of dumping you out into the parking lot, kids with bicycles, people running, people walking, maybe you're talking, not paying attention, you just walk right into traffic. So I think it's a safety issue also. And CPC, Central Peninsula Church, and myself, we'd like to make this a Love Works project with the city, so like a joint project. I proposed a material sheet already. And I think the initial estimate was about $5,000 for improvements. I think that's probably about right, maybe a little high if anything. Only reason it would be that high probably is because if we're gonna pave versus decomposed granite. Decomposed granite's real simple, real easy, but again, the transition from blacktop to granite to blacktop might be a little slipping hazard, so that might be a liability. So if you paved that little area there, I think that would make it a lot cleaner and it look like it's always been there, you know? So we're on board, we're ready to take on this project anytime it's approved or if it's approved. If you have any questions, I have some pictures I drew up, some drawings on what it would look like.
Okay, I have one
Most of you have
comment
seen it already.
before I ask my fellow commissioners. We agendized this from our September meeting, and have you had a chance to submit a cost to staff? You have?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm sorry, I have another question. I segued nicely for myself. Has staff been able, has Dan had a chance to take a look at this? No, not yet.
I'm not aware if Dan has seen it yet.
Okay. Commissioners, questions, comments?
I have,
Dave?
through the chair. How long, well, first of all, thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
wonderful that you're making this proposal. And how long do you anticipate that this would take?
To do the whole, it all depends if we're gonna pave or not. That's obviously gonna take some scheduling with the city. I don't know if you guys have your own equipment for small pavement jobs or you just outsource to others. So it would be a joint venture. I would say, I would do one step at a time. I would do probably the safety ballards first, because once the path is in, they're gonna take it. So if you put the path in first, then the ballards aren't there, there's a safety issue.
Yeah.
So I would suggest it in two phases. I'd say it would take probably 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Through the chair, I think it's a great project. We've been wanting to get this done, and we really appreciate you stepping up to take on this project and propose this. I recommend that we move this to the next step, which is, I guess, as a commission, we recommend to the council needs approval to obtain the funds to complete this project. It is something that unless you're at the park and you see that there's a hazard, there's that parking lot is used not only for city employees, but once they're gone at 4 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever time, other vehicles are coming in, whether they're kids who are using the playground, adults watching games. It's a dangerous spot where you're actually having this beautiful park that has this nice safe loop that kids and adults can walk, and then you get dumped into a parking lot. So I think for safety concerns, we need to make this a priority, and I recommend that we move forward with this.
Any other comments?
Through the chair,
Yeah,
I
Lori.
agree with Laura. It's long overdue. We've been hoping for it for a couple of years now, and thank you so much for your group stepping up to it.
You're
And
welcome.
I think we should wait for the approval for the city council and then go ahead with it right away.
Okay, so this is on the agenda, so would it be a voting item?
Vote on it,
Right.
yes. Yeah.
I'd like to just add the same thing that my fellow commissioners added. Thank you very much for bringing this forward. It certainly is appreciated, certainly by us, and I know it'll be appreciated by the public
Right.
that gets to enjoy it. So now we'd like to call this to a vote. All those in favor?
I think you actually need a motion.
Yeah. No, we need a motion
Almost,
first,
I'd
that's
like to
right.
motion.
And a
We
second.
approve the recommendation and the proposal to work with the city with a budget of $5,000 to improve the pathway to San Bernardino City Park.
I'd like to second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No one opposed. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Stuhler.
Thank you.
And I suppose we've set the wheels in motion. Okay? Item 8B, recognition program promotion.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Danielle.
So as you know, we have the lovely sculpture in San Bruno City Park that is serving as a recognition sculpture for members of the community to place plaques on and purchase plaques for people that in the community that they would like to honor or remember or recognize for volunteer services or just because they were a member of the community. There's no real criteria other than that they would like to purchase a plaque for a member of the community. It was our intention to place a plaque with an explanation of the plaque, of the sculpture, at the recognition sculpture at some point, and we will probably be doing that in the next few months. This brochure has been available at the Recreation Center, at City Hall, at the library. It's also online. As soon as someone online puts in a recognition and purchases a plaque, an email gets sent directly to me. I've gotten about 5 practices, but I have not gotten any actual purchases. So the question is it, does the community know it exists? Does the community realize? So we are going to be putting info on the website, the homepage of the website. We will be placing it in the activity guide that will be coming out at the beginning of December. I'll probably place almost the entire all the information in an order form right there in the brochure. And then it'll also go in the winter edition of the Focus, and we'll announce it on the Facebook page a few times. I think our intention was to wait a little bit of time because we had placed the recognition of the fire victims on there. And so I think we wanted to leave that up for a little while. So now I think it's time for us to start advertising that people can purchase plaques to recognize family, friends, community members, nonprofit contributors. So if people would like to contact the Recreation Center if they want a brochure mailed to you, otherwise you can go online and look at it. I have some here for you tonight to go ahead and hand out to people that you think may be interested. Is there any questions about the sculpture?
Through the chair, I was hoping to see not a plaque on the sculpture, but something else that as you walk up to that point, there is acknowledgement of what this area is. And similar to other locations, we've got a nice rock with a plaque embedded in the rock. That's something that kind of, before you even get into that space, you're very, very well aware of what's going on.
Okay.
So I would actually like to see before, since we've waited this period of time, I'd actually like to see something before we move forward on making that purchase or...
Okay, that's a good idea.
Okay, other comments?
Through the chair.
Commissioner Pierce?
Could you possibly take a minute or two to go through some of the costs?
Sure.
Since you have an opportunity?
I'd love to if I knew. I believe a 4x6 plaque. Sorry. I believe a 4x6 plaque is $300.
But what, like specifically, what's the approval process for people that are listening?
I don't think, oh, I'm sorry, here we go. The personal tribute bronze plaque donation is $400. And that gets a 3x3 plaque. And then the cost.
Okay.
So the criteria for the personal tribute is, there's no criteria. It's anybody who wants to put a 3x3 plaque recognizing someone in the community. And then there's also the special service recognition, and that is someone who has a minimum of 15 years of dedicated service to the city of San Bruno, and that's a 4x6 plaque. And then there's also the extraordinary service recognition, which is individuals or groups that have 25 years of dedicated service, and those are 5x7 plaques.
So the donation for the personal tribute is $400?
Correct. So that covers the cost of the bronze plaque as well as maintaining the plaque
Right.
for the rest of its life.
Greg, did that,
Yeah, I just thought we'd take advantage of the opportunity to announce it on the air. I just was curious, has the city taken any type of a lead role in recognizing anybody for extraordinary service recognition, or, you know, people that have been special in the city?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I think we're gonna start doing a push now and start working on, I think some time has gone by now since it's been erected and is,
Because I did hear you say you wanted to wait a little bit after the recognition for the fire victims.
so I think at this time, we've had these out, but I think we'll take a bigger push right now with really advertising it in some of our material that goes out to the wider public and the full
Okay.
community.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Okay. David?
This is really we've been working on this and the other committees in the city for a long time. I'm really happy we're at this point. And as you said, it's really good that you're going to be publicizing it and all the things that you just mentioned. And this is something that I'm very interested in. It was Bob Greenberg and me and Quentin Kopp that got presented to the city council, and they approved it to name Lara Field. Mr. Lara, just for those of you that didn't realize it, he passed away recently, and for his more than 50 years in baseball, I don't know, what was it, did you know what it was, Mike?
Pardon me?
How many years, Tom? It was more than 50 in baseball.
It was more, it was probably closer to 60, 65.
And then 41 years plus on this commission. I would spearhead and like to make the statement that I'd like to start collecting money to create a plaque in Tom's memory and when the time is proper, Danielle, if you would let me know, I'd like to spearhead a campaign to have Tom placed onto the sculpture.
Well,
Through the chair, shouldn't we, as a resident of San Bruno, fill out the application and apply like any other resident would?
Danielle?
Yeah, you can do that as a resident group, if you want to do it. If you want to do it on behalf of the commission, you can. However, there's only two ways to recognize someone in writing, the wording. It's either in honor of or in memory of, because we wanted to be sure to keep it consistent. So,
So in his case, we'd have to make a choice, or could we put in honor and memory of?
no, it has to be one or
It'd
the
have to be
other.
one. Okay.
And there would be nowhere where it said in honor of, from the Park and Rec Commission, or from, it will not say who placed that plaque.
Well, I wouldn't
So-
presume to ask the commission unless people approached me, and if they wanted to do it, I was thinking more of just citizens who love Tom. But I'll talk to the commission individually.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments on the recognition program? Questions?
So through the chair, is this form etched in stone, or can it be revised or anything? Because I found it difficult to find the price. It looks like personal tribute is $400 for a 3x3. And then other than that, there's 5x7, 4x6, but there's no cost actually on it. It's from a,
Yeah, we will look into it and see if there's a place that, if there's some room on the back, maybe we can put a pricing guide on the back or something. But we'll look into doing something and making a few additions.
yes,
Okay.
because it says all costs related to the preparation of the special service recognition, including the cost of the plaque, shall be borne by the nominating organization, but it doesn't indicate the price. Okay, that
Yeah,
would
it
be.
doesn't state the cost of the plaque for the other two.
Exactly,
I
that would
agree.
be quite helpful, because, yeah. All right.
There's room on the back side when you fold it over.
Yeah.
It's three-folded, so. Okay, any other comments from the commission? Questions?
Contribution.
To the chair.
Commissioner Nigel?
In addition to this opportunity, I'm sure that the citizens know that there are other opportunities to donate to our park facilities, benches, and what else do we have?
We have a limited number of benches and none at San Bruno City Park. If you would like to purchase a bench, we have other parks that are out of sight of San Bruno City Park that we are accepting donations of benches. And we also are accepting donations of trees. We can plant trees in memory of people or in honor of people. Those are really the two things that we are taking. There are some other park amenities. If someone really wants to donate a drinking fountain, we have a couple parks that do need drinking fountains, those kind of things. And you can contact us directly to find out if there's something specific. But for the most part, it's trees and benches. And like I said, none in San Bruno City Park. They're in other parks.
Through the chair,
Okay.
any particular kind of drinking fountain?
They're wooden.
Oh. Sorry, you
Okay.
kind of opened the door there.
Any other questions, comments on the recognition program promotion? Thanks, Danielle. We're on to item 9, report for the commissioners, and 9A is the Centennial Carnival report, and who would like to start?
To the chair.
Greg should.
I'll go ahead. I want to thank the city for recognizing the individuals that volunteered and donated their time for the effort. And I kicked myself all the way home last night for not recognizing staff for how much help that we received from staff throughout the project. In particular, Rico Medina led the program. Carrie Burns was quite active, keeping us all on track, as well as Danielle and Dee both contributed quite a bit to the program to ensure that we were on budget, on time, and that we would have the type of response that we had on that given Saturday. So, again, I apologize for not mentioning it last night, but I wanted to go on record tonight that it was a great effort by the city, as well as the volunteers, but we couldn't go without thanking the city.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Nigel?
Last night at the city council meeting, those of us on the committee were recognized and presented with beautiful certificates and also gifts. We got a license plate that said Centennial on it that my wife is already going to put on her car, and a cup that was beautiful with the city logo and 100 Centennial celebration. But I'm very proud of our commission because on that committee, one of the finest committees I've had a privilege to work with, we had 4 very active commissioners from this commission that met weekly and then bi-weekly, is bi-weekly? Every other week, whatever it is.
That's
And,
bi-weekly.
Then as we approached, we were meeting every week. And I want to underscore what Greg said. The staff was terrific. Danielle, Carrie, and all your folks that helped us. And it was evident from the people that I spoke with that it was a fantastic day celebrating our carnival in the park on the 27th of September. And I talked to different people, and even Greg told me that there was a father and 2 boys that were just playing soccer, and he told them to go over to the tennis court, and they had a great time. Maybe, Greg, you can add to that.
Well, it was real simple that although we took over the park that day, there were still families that showed up, as they do on the weekend for the park activities. And I found a couple kids with their dad playing soccer over by the food. And I said, come on over, tennis courts are all set up for a soccer experience. So they did, they had a great time. So I think it was a well thought out and planned and facilitated program the whole day.
But I wanted to just also add that Lori and Laura and Greg, and I was part of that too, put a lot of hours, and I think we really made a very strong reputation for ourselves as a commission that really came through and did a good job.
Commissioner Greenberg?
Yes, through the chair, and also, I believe last night we mentioned Dan Barros. And he was awesome, and his crew was awesome that day, because, you know, we'd look around, gee, I wish we had some steaks. Vroom. They drive up, and here's like 20 little steaks, so we can put something in the ground. And somebody said, oh, I need some earplugs. The sound man is too noisy, and I'm going to be here all day. Vroom. There they were with earplugs for us. So anything we asked for, they were there, and they were there all day long, setting up and breaking down. So the park staff was awesome. And I will have to say that especially Laura Davis was my favorite #1 person there, because before we knew it, we were out of food, and I get a text, okay, hold down the fort, I'm going off to get hot dogs. So there she was, getting food. She was kind of our coordinator. We all looked up to her, and she brought a lot to the plate. She brought games when we didn't have enough. She brought great people to work the money. So Laura stood out in my mind. I mean, we all did our fair share. We were all incredibly busy. We all had a great time. And I remember people coming up to us and saying, gee, we should do this every year. And, we enjoyed it so much that maybe we should. But, it was a centennial celebration. It was a lot of work, but we also had fun, too. So thank you very much. And Laura, you were awesome.
Commissioner
Through
Davis,
the
come
chair, thank you for those kind words, but, there's a saying that says, no pains, no strains, no gains, and we definitely struggled for many months coming up with the plan and the details, so many details, But in the end, young and old all had a good time, and that's what it really was about. It was about an opportunity for our community to come together in a beautiful park and celebrate the city's centennial. And what a celebration it was. I couldn't be prouder and happier for the people I'm on this commission with, for the staff that I've been able to work with, for those, my friends and family who stepped up. Thank you to all. It takes a village, and I have to say, proud of San Bruno, proud to be a resident, because we came together and made it pretty special.
Okay, well, go ahead, Commissioner.
I also want to add, and we've already said this, but Vice Mayor Rico Medina was such a good leader and showed such leadership, kept us on course, made sure that everybody completed their responsibilities, and I hope the public really recognizes him for his effort in making this day successful.
Okay, well, thank you.
Through the chair?
Yes, Brittany?
I would just like to say that on behalf of the cheerleading squad of Cappuccino, we were really surprised and we were really honored to be able to perform at the Centennial Carnival. And also, we were really pleasantly surprised with the pin that we got after. We weren't really expecting anything, but it was really nice. And my whole team has the pin on our bags now. Also, coming back to school on that following day, a lot of my friends were really happy with the carnival and they had a lot of fun. So,
Thank you.
better.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I had the chance to attend briefly. I had a personal matter to attend to, and both my wife and I were upset that we had to leave. We wanted to stay. It looked like everybody was doing their part and everybody was having a good time, and that's as it should be. So, yeah, the weather cooperated, and it seemed like a nice day. Danielle, do you have anything? No?
It was fun planning.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to miss it. But
Yeah.
it was fun to be part of that group of planning.
Okay. Well,
I through the chair, just have actually one question. I know that San Bruno Cable is out there. Were there stills taken, or were they just all video? And is there a way that will be played?
I saw it already.
Video. Okay. Will that be viewed on Channel 3 or Channel 1? I mean,
Channel 1
It's been on.
at some
Perfect.
point.
Whatever
Okay.
it is now.
Oh,
Okay, so for the residents who missed out and want us to see a beautiful day and what that was all about, so tune to Channel 1 for the schedule.
fantastic.
Yeah. Through the chair, thank you for bringing that up and reminding me. I actually got a chance, because I have San Bruno Cable, I actually had a chance to watch it, and I could have watched it several times. It was excellent. It was a recap of everything out there that was crucial, all the games and the rides. It didn't show me all the entertainment, but it showed me the big entertainers, like High Top was my favorite. Always my
So
favorite.
good.
Thank you so much for being out there all day, Miriam. And crew.
Okay, well, thank you. Agenda building items for our...
I have one more.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Reports for commissioners.
Okay, go.
Last night, prior to the city council meeting, time for reappointment, two of us, our terms are up. And Lori and I appeared before the city council for our interviews. And we will be going to the city clerk to take our oath again. And we need to do that before our next meeting so we can vote.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Pierce.
Through the chair, I just wanted to let the commission know that San Bruno AYSO has another field day planned for this Sunday, the 19th. We'll be addressing some severe needs at Parkside Junior High School. We've talked with the Parks Department, Dan Barros. We have some volunteers, soil, some equipment all set to go, and we will be spending the day down at Parkside. raising the level of safety.
What was that day?
Sunday the 19th.
And could you give us the hours once again, Greg? It doesn't
Oh,
start
we start at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and take a break for lunch, and as soon as we can finish spreading the soil or whatever else, we'll be done probably no later than 3:30.
And do you want us to bring anything other than gloves, extra tools?
Well, if you're talking about yourself, yes, I'd like you to bring some equipment to do some actual work, yes.
Whoa.
And I heard lunch was in the offering?
There'll be lunch commensurate with the amount of work that you put in. No, we'd welcome you there because we'll look at the whole field as, not just the soccer fields. It'll impact the outfields for all the diamonds, and if there's anything we can do for the rest of the field, we'll be there to do it.
Okay, any other commissioner reports?
Through the chair.
Commissioner
Did
Greenberg?
we discuss the concerts in the park at our previous meeting? Because our last concert in the park was September 26th, and this was the first year we actually went 2 months. We did every Friday in August and every Friday in September, and everybody loved hanging out. I will tell you in September, though, 8 o'clock, it was a little bit dark. I forgot that it gets dark there, but I enjoyed every concert. There were some that were just, had tons of people. We actually had very good weather every Friday in August and September, and people just loved it. And it was a great, great idea from staff to have it for 2 months instead of one. So is this a tradition now? Are we going to have it for 2 months from now on?
I believe so.
Right.
Excellent, excellent.
We may need to turn on the lights up at Diamond 3 just to help with the exit
Excellent.
in the month of September because it did get quite dark. So,
And then it was also fun Friday nights in September after the concert, walking over to go watch a movie, and that's from the Culture and Arts Commission. They
Sponsor this.
they sponsor it and they select movies. But the very first movie was Frozen, and I've never seen so many people in my life at a movie in the park. And I had a bunch of daddies behind me singing along too. And they said, well, they've seen the movie like 10 times already with their children. So it was very, very endearing to see the parents and their children out there. And I loved the movie myself. So that was a great one.
Okay, thank you. Any other reports? No? Agenda building for our November, December meeting. The only thing I had is maybe bring back the recognition program and maybe with some of the suggestions. Anything else?
and basically the suggestions are price,
Yeah.
to make the prices a little bit
Somewhere.
more
And
obvious.
I noticed that the back has a blank spot, so there's a place there. It's a good recommendation from Commissioner Greenberg. Okay. No further business. This meeting is now adjourned.
Lori had something.